And welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We are back for the race in Brazil. Sorry for the delay. Again, just got to quickly share the links.
Let's see if everyone loads up this time.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So we will have the formation lap. We have custom grids, so as long as the boys remember to pop in their setups before they ready up. There's always one that forgets.
Yeah, I hope everyone took their time well, little break, and grabbed something to drink, because we have a long race, and probably an enjoyable one.
Well, you certainly got yourself a drink.
Yeah, I didn't spill it this time around. So improvement for last weekend.
Yeah, Luca had one too many last week with his Desperados. He's gone for a Corona this week. No puns intended there.
Bit ironic, to be honest. Hopefully everyone is staying safe during this lockdown period.
Of course. And that's one thing that we can do here in TUF. It's entertain during lockdown. Of course, we have got our Christmas special coming up on Boxing Day, the 26th of December. Back to some sort of old school 5 laps, 9 tracks. I'm looking forward to it. How about you?
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. It's been a long time since we had such an event in TUF.
Yeah.
We'll definitely be taking part in it. And you'll probably be very competitive with it too.
Well, I'm sure with no qualifying, it will be nice to see you and Julian starting at the back. Let's put it that way.
Well, yeah, of course, I think me and Julian will be very competitive in it, but of course it will be all about fun, I think, the event.
Yeah, I'd expect nothing less than competitiveness from you two. Not just with each other, but in general as well.
Yeah, in the end it's all about fun.
Of course.
Enjoying your passion.
So just another quick rundown then of the grid before we start. 36 laps here in Sao Paulo. We got Santa Silent in P1, Young Breezy, Hamres, Mr. Ice Cold Andy, Dobby, Julian taking a 5-place grid penalty, F1 Attic, Stinner, Sean, Lunatics, Santero, Squicknick, Waitsy, Sir Quineth, Eden, the Boogeyman, Vim Blanc, Trundas and Neres, and Boastman, who I believe also must have taken a 5-place grid penalty.
Yeah, and I just saw and just noticed that Young Breezy actually picked the medium tires to start the race on. That's a bit odd. I don't know if that's allowed, but...
No, that's definitely not allowed.
But it will be a pretty big advantage at the end of the race. Of course now he will lose out big time compared to guys around him.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate for him. I'm sure we will be looking at that, and Boastman leaves the session. God.
It's really important.
Okay, so yeah, we're already showing up as lap 2, which is great in this round. I was back down to lap 1. We get any lights? Come on, game, let's work. No lights, no lights, no lights. I'm expecting this to just be a... Yeah, there we go, yeah, they're away. Oh god, and there's ghosting. I have no idea whatsoever if this is actually live, which is great. This game's fantastic. It seems...
I see Santa is still in the lead, and
yeah.
See Young Breezy is actually still in P2 with Hammers right behind him.
Why is everyone ghosting?
Yeah, a bit of bugging going on at the moment.
There we go, so we got everyone's back up and running. Julian's jumped up into P5. So we do have... The race is actually on, which is great.
Wow, but we're finally here.
Yeah.
And probably Julian will be the one to watch these opening laps. First trying to pick his way through the field. Let's see. Hammers is already right behind John Breezy, of course. John Breezy on the medium tires, so he will be pretty slow in these opening laps.
Yeah, especially with the boys now on fresh softs themselves. He gets by nice and easily there, Hamres, and now he'll be after Santa Silent in P1, who's at a very nice start, already over a second ahead as we come into it's lap 2. It is actually lap 2, not lap 3, as it's showing up on the telemetry at the moment. And now Andy's right behind Young Breezy as well.
Let's see. Of course, it will be difficult once DRS is enabled to get past if you're in a DRS train.
Ooh, sorry man, Andy dipped his tyres onto the grass there, but takes Young Breezy on the inside, and he moves into P3. Julian now on the back of Young Breezy, and he's falling back quickly, as expected really on the harder compound tyre.
Exactly. Yeah, Julian probably wants to get past on this DRS straight. Of course, Young Breezy still has DRS from Mr. Ice Cold and the head. So he needs to get a good exit here. Stay close to the Williams driver. As he does. Let's see if he can get past. Of course, it's only lap 2 now, so no DRS. Yes, this is pure on slipstream. They're side by side at the moment. And
he's
Julian
passed.
is ahead. Wow.
Very nice. Okay, so Julian's up into P4 already. 2 positions gained already on the opening 2 laps. Young Breezy already dropped 3. And we do now have DRS. Are we on? Yeah, we're actually on lap 3, yeah.
Yeah. So at the front it's actually now a 1.1 second gap. 1.1 second gap. So Hammers needs to get into that 1 second to get DRS, which will give him a lot of lap time.
And he'll also be hoping to get the DRS and keep Andy out of his DRS so he can create that gap in behind. Julian currently within DRS range of Andy.
It's right behind him. And Mr. Ice Cold Andy is just about not getting DRS from Hammers at the moment, so Julian should try to get moved on now.
Yep, Hammers will get DRS, he's just inside the activation zone. As Dobby gets past Young Breezy as well.
And Julian Breeze passed Mr. Ice Cold Andy into turn 1. It's already up to P3.
As F1 Attic also gets past Young Breezy dropping back massively now down into P7 and picks up a time penalty for good measure. Andy gets back past Julian.
Oh, very nice.
With the DRS up on the inside, and Andy's not taking any prisoners this evening as he gets his P3 back.
So yellow flag in sector 2, that's Schoon who spun around. And he's all the way back to P80 now. Ooh, that is a big shame for him. It will be very tough to come back from this afternoon. Saying that we still have a long race though, but this is not ideal for his afternoon.
Yeah, hopefully he can get some decent laps in now on those softs and take a couple of these guys who are doing the longer runs on the mediums. Everybody up until 13th in the Boogeyman currently on the mediums, but of course we have got a lot of DRS trains currently at the moment, and it's going to be very difficult for Showan to get through.
And Julian is now back again past Mr. Ice Cold Andy at turn 1.
And Stinner gets past Young Breezy. We'll get back on board though with Andy, who took P3 back off Julian under this DRS straight last time. Julian goes defensive. And this time keeps P3, yeah.
And Hammers meanwhile has closed up to Santa. Cost him a lot of ERS actually to close up to him. He can maybe save now or get past even. Will be important. Yes, Julian now is only 1.5 seconds behind Hammers, so he will be trying to close up, of course. Actually, the guys who we predicted in the previous stream to be on the podium are actually in the top 3 at the moment.
Yeah. Let's get on board with Hammers then. It's just over 6/10 down on Santa. He's going to close this gap massively with DRS. Will he be able to get past? No, but it doesn't look too bad because he will get DRS again on the straight.
They both are using a lot of ERS at the moment too.
Yeah, Santa had a nice exit from there as well. And just a bit too big the gap there to capitalise for Hamres, but he needs to stay on the back of Santa here. There's a chance will come the more the Santa's using his ERS to defend. He's got a 1.9 second gap back to Julian as well, so he just needs to keep his cool and the chance will come.
Exactly. Yeah, and the top 3 or top 4 actually are all pretty even on ERS at the moment. So everyone is pushing each other to the limit at these opening laps. Just trying to keep the gaps up. Let's see. Yeah, actually Mr. Ice Cold Andy is also keeping up with Julian. And Julian isn't closing up that much to Hamres and Santa at the moment. Who of course still both have, or at least Hamres has DRS, so gap will become bigger of course on the straights. Which will be difficult for Julian to make up in the corners.
Of course, there's a lot of corners to harvest some ERS in this track, but it's very easy to waste too much on the straights. Hamres has used up a lot of his ERS early doors. Showen gets a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane, so he's had enough of those old softs, and he's coming in for a first stop. Obviously, he did spin in sector 1.
Unless we have another yellow flag. I think that's Neus, who was spun around, maybe coming out of the pits or Penna S's.
Yeah, he's not pitted yet, so there must have been just a mistake coming out of turn 3 there.
Let's see. Also in the midfield at the moment, it's very close everywhere. This young Breezy is actually side by side now with Santero coming to the last corner. Santero tries to switch back. We'll get the DRS actually from young Breezy here, so maybe we'll get past him this time around.
Yeah,
of course, young Breezy started in P2 in the beginning of the race and it's already down to P11, so these mediums aren't working for him. As he
it goes in it. No, yeah, a bit of lag. I thought he made the move there back on the outside. Quite bad lag there, to be honest with you, and he must be ruining his decision to start on those mediums as he's lost 9 places in the first 8 laps. This is a really poor start for him. He'd be hoping obviously to get back when he puts his softs on, but the gaps may be way too big by then.
Yeah, he lost a lot of time in those 8 laps. I don't know what happened there actually. Maybe struggling a lot on those mediums.
So Gwyneth and Eden are battling it out for 15th and 16th. Up on the inside, Quinn gets it done and covers off the inside line there so Eden can't get past. Trunders, lost his front wing. Big battles everywhere you look at the moment as Hamres is now within 1/10 on Santa. Crossing the line, Hamres takes P1. Santa will have the inside line. No, he won't, because Hamres is far enough ahead to get into the lead of this Grand Prix.
Yeah, and all this battling has allowed Julian to close up. He's almost in 1 second now. He is in 1 second now of Santa. So he has joined this fight. Which will be an interesting fight, as the top 4 are so close together at the moment. Let's see. Yeah, and Dobby is 4 seconds behind now on this top 4 train. So he'll be maybe having a lonely days as Stinna is 2 seconds behind him. Will be interesting to see how his stint will pan out.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, I think pit stops will obviously be a big factor here. What sort of laps do you think these boys will be looking to come in on?
Yeah, to be honest, I have no clue, but I think maybe around 12, 14.
Of course, we have we have the added sort of situation with the session being restarted. So the boys did all start on freshest set of tyres.
Yeah, so maybe that will allow the overcut to be maybe a bit quicker compared to the undercut right now.
I do always find
the tires overheating and the tires warming up in your outlet will be a big factor.
I do always find
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, young Breezy's left the session. I was just going to say, I always find the undercut to be massively powerful on this track, because if you're stuck in traffic, you lose so much time, even if you've got DRS, because you're not going anywhere and you're constantly stuck going the same pace as the guys in front and behind.
Yeah, that's a very good point you made there. Of course, as we have another Nelis left the session, I think. The other left Sector 1.
Yeah, he has retired.
It will be interesting for the top 4 guys, of course. They all have a big DRS train at the moment. So maybe someone will just jump and try to make an undercut attempt.
Unfortunately, Dobby finds himself 4.6 seconds behind the top 4 at the moment, and I think that's too much of a gap to try and undercut. But he could put himself into play if he pits a little bit earlier than these boys. Same with Stinner.
We're looking at the ERS levels of the top 4 guys. At the moment, Julian and Santa have the most of them. Hammers is actually down 10%, so he will be losing a lot of engine power on the straights. So he will have a tough time to keep the cars behind him. And maybe we'll see Santa jump in the upcoming laps.
And Julian's looking very interested now in the back of Santa.
Yeah, both of the drivers have the same amount of ERS levels, so it will be interesting to see what will happen. Coming to the last corner now, Santa takes a bit more wide line, but not a bit wide actually. Maybe it will be a shot for Julian to get past. No, the DRS train is just a bit too powerful at the moment.
Yeah.
Santa will have a little look maybe at Anders, but stays behind for now. As we see the red light flashing from Ambrose in the straight, meaning there's less than 10%, so this could be the chance for Santa to get past.
Yep.
So he has to stay behind for now, for another lap.
And even though these boys are stuck in a train, they are still generating a bigger gap to Dobby in P5. So this front 4 really are pulling away at the moment. And Dobby's even putting a bit of a gap onto Stinner as well. So tyres are starting to fall off for some of these guys. Some are managing it a little bit better than others. So I'd expect pit stops in the next 2-3 laps.
Yeah. Will be interesting to see who actually will go for the undercut attempt. Maybe Dobby will try to close up the gap with an undercut, or maybe extend the stint. Get fresher tyres at the next stint and maybe close up to the guys in front.
And of course,
he's currently having a race on his own.
And Hammers comes in. Yeah, Santa was going to get the move done anyway, I feel, but Hammers has blinked first. Of course, the one stop is possible here if softs to hards, but I just feel that it's way slower than doing a 2-stop, actually a soft, medium, soft run. And Hammers has fitted the medium, so I'm expecting that 100% to be a 2-stop race.
Yeah, no, I actually think you can make it on the mediums. It will be a long stretch though. 23 laps on mediums is very long. But I've heard that it was actually possible to do.
Really interesting. Okay, so we'll wait and see then if Hammers does manage to do just a 1-stop. Waitsy's come in as well. He looks as if he's setting himself some hards and would definitely be going to the end on those. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on Hammers. Currently P11, obviously net first. Some of these boys may want to jump into the pits this lap to cover that off.
Yeah, Hammers has a bit of clean air at the moment to be flying on this outlap, as he has only fin blank on the old mediums in front. So I think he timed it to perfection, to be honest, this outlap.
Yeah, Santa, Julian and Andy all stay out, as does Dobby. So we'll wait and see then if that's a mistake from Hammers to come in. Maybe he was listening to the stream and he's drunken my poison chalice again and listened to my tactics, which never go right because, well, I'm in TUF2 and I've won 1 race, so
it's better than none, to be honest.
Well, maybe they should be listening. They should be listening to your tactics, mate. You know, you should be the one giving out the strategies.
I don't know about that though. Made a lot of bad strategy calls.
Yeah,
some races.
You're too modest.
Yeah. Maybe in the dry I'm good at strategies. In the wet I'm not the best, to be honest. But
Yeah, and we did mention France earlier, which is is a great watch. It was a great race, honest to God. It was so funny.
Yeah, well, it was maybe funny from the outside, but it was really tough from the inside for me, to be honest. Yeah, still made it work somehow.
And yeah, Santa comes into the pits again. I think he knew he was under pressure there from Julian. Decided to come in instead. So we'll have a look at the gap here, see what sort of gap Hamres has managed to eke out when Santa comes out.
And Hamres is coming across the start-finish almost right now, so
yeah,
we'll be close, to say the least.
And we've got a host of guys in the midfield coming in as well. We've got Lunatics in, Fanatics in, Stinners in.
I think that Hamres is very close now to Santa, and he just about gets ahead of him.
Okay, so the couple of extra laps weren't exactly massively beneficial for Hamres then.
Yeah, only 6/10 between them.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I was going to say we'll wait and see maybe if Santa has a problem in the first lap heating up his tyres. Maybe that's what did for Hamres, but yeah.
He's keeping up at the moment, seems like.
Interestingly, Stinner managed to get ahead of Boastman, and Eden, Lunatics and Fanatic came in behind him, so they're all going to have to clear Boastman on 14 lap old mediums before they can get back at Stinner, for which I believe was about P6 net.
Actually, a bit of lagging going on with Boastman's car. It'll be difficult for Eden to get past him as he ghosts. Helps out massively. Let's quickly goes into the pits. See where he comes out. As Boastman leaves the session, so those internet problems, it gets the better of him. Which is a big shame.
That's a shame for him. I believe we lost young Breezy as well, which again was a massive shame. After he started P2.
I just saw Boastman post quickest lap of maybe 53 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Bit of a glitch, I think. It'll be interesting to see how that happens.
Yeah, that's got to be some sort of glitch. That it'd be an impressive lap. I'd be honest with you if you could do 53 seconds, but there's some corner cutting going on there, I can assure you.
Yeah, to say the least. As the top two now come into the pits, they went a lot longer than Hamres and Santa, to be honest. It'll be interesting to see where they come out. Hamres and Santa are coming out onto the main straight. Let's see where Julian is. He's now re-entering the track. I think
it's really tight.
Behind.
Yeah, I think so. I think both will get through. Yeah, and Santa now looking very interested in Hamres on the inside. Hammer's fighting it back on the outside, but Santa gets the better line and takes P2 as it stands, but net P1.
Yeah, those fresh tires really coming in handy for Santa. And yeah, as we said earlier, actually the undercut didn't seem to be as powerful as we expected.
No.
Actually the top four are, or at least the top three, professional top three are actually right behind each other again.
Yeah, in exactly the same positions they were before. Andy lost a bit of time there. I'm not sure what happened with Andy for the pits. Maybe he got held up by somebody that they were lapping. The Boogeyman then in P6 still yet to come in. And I'm not getting any intervals at the moment, so I can't really see the gaps between the guys, which is a shame.
Yeah, a bit of glitching going on in this lobby, but I think the gaps are coming back at us.
Julian right on the back of Hamres, in the DRS zone, out of the slipstream, into P3. Nice and easy move there for Julian, up into P3. And Hamres, yeah, couple of bad laps there for Hamres. It's all gone wrong since the pit stop. He needs to keep his head down. There's still a podium up for grabs here this evening. Maybe even the right race win. Santa's looking at Vin Blanc, can't get past him.
It's coming really handy for Julian, who's having a little look stays behind. Of course, everyone will get DRS. Maybe a double overtake for Julian on the cards. He needs to stay close though in this couple of corners. Let's see. Vinblank has a gap, but Santa really needs to get past Vinblank on this lap, to be honest. If he wants to create a bit of a breather between him and Julian.
It's cost him a lot of time at the moment.
Yeah. Vinblank doing a great job though, staying in front of these guys on 18 lap of mediums.
Yeah, and he's not looking like he's lacking speed out of the corners there either.
Definitely. Yeah, of course through this middle section it will be very difficult to get past with the dirty air. But yeah, of course you just need to be patient and wait for the main straight. But yeah, Vinblank is actually keeping such a good gap to Santa at the moment. He can maybe even stay in front now. We'll see tomorrow.
But he's not really had to defend too hard yet either, so it's not as if it's costing him too much time defending from these boys, because he's not had to change his line at all. Maybe he will now. As Santa gets very close, Vinblank pulls in. Where's Julian and Hamres? They're very close.
Julian has a little look.
I got a bad camera angle, but he gets.
Julian goes very deep. But
was there contact there?
Yeah, there was contact between Hamres and Santa, I think. And I think Hamres has picked up some wing damage from that.
Ah, so unfortunate.
Yeah, I think his right front end plate has gone. So that's a big shame for him.
Had a bad camera angle there, so I couldn't really see the corner. Looks alright, but Andy is now on the back of Hamres.
Hamres is losing a lot of time now. Already 1.5 seconds behind as Mr. Ice Cold goes down the inside.
Lovely move, Hamres. Nothing he could do about that.
Yeah. Last week's race winner is now down to P4. With a lot of work to do now.
And of course he did lead this Grand Prix for much of its first stint. The pit stop has cost him.
As he heads into the pits now, it's a big shame for his afternoon. He will have a lot of work to do, as he's already down into P5. But yeah, big shame for him. Actually didn't see or caught what happened there, but
try and see where he comes back out. He's already down into P12. I think that'll probably be where he comes out. No, further down. And he's gone for a fresh set of medium tyres. Vinblank incidentally came out in P9 on a set of softs. The Boogeyman still has to pit, so there'll be P8 at least for Vinblank. And he's not far off Lunatics here. Let's have a look at the interval. He's 5/10 away. And he's looking on the outside and makes it stick. Great move.
Wow.
Up into P8. Quick Nick is next. Up in P7 for him.
yeah, of course the soft tires are so much quicker at this stage of the race compared to the mediums even. So he'll be one to watch out for these final laps.
Definitely.
He's already up in
We saw the evolution of the track in qualifying. How quick the lap times got, the longer the soft runners were out, and I'd expect Vinblank with that in mind, and of course his car getting lighter, I'd expect a good result from him this evening.
As we will have a look down the inside of Quick Nick now. Heading into turn 1. Quick Nick very late on the brakes there. Stays in front for now.
Yeah.
He is low on ERS though, so I think he will maybe get jumped. No, as he gets DRS from John Greasy actually.
I hate that so much. And the Boogeyman did come in and he said he's fitted a set of softs himself as well.
He'll be trying to get those last couple of points paying positions. He has a 3-second gap to Hamres, who has a 6.3 second gap to the first point paying position, so we will have a lot of work to do finishing the points tonight. Yeah. See the front though. Santa is trying to keep up with Julian, of course, now. Still in DRS at the moment. She goes a bit wide there, but still gets to DRS. Will be an interesting battle, to say the least, between those two drivers till the end. It's of course important for Santa to stay in the DRS so they can keep up. Yeah.
This is where I fancy Julian now, just to put his foot down and coast off into the sunset. He's done the hard part, getting to the front. He's got a little bit more ERS on board than what Santa does, so he's managing it very well.
Both drivers, of course, pushing to. Julian has to push, of course, to get out of the 1 second, and Santa has to push to keep within the 1 second.
At the moment, he's just slightly outside of that 1 second. So Julian gets a DRS-free run here into turn 1.
For the first time this afternoon, so Julian has been released. Let's see. There's a big battle going on now for P7 with Lunatics and Santero right behind Quicknick.
Yeah, and we missed Vimblanc actually get past Squicknick there. So he's up in the P6. Next for him is Stinner, 7.5 seconds up the road.
It's a very big gap, to be honest. Let's see if he can cut that down in the upcoming laps. Let's see. Yeah, not a lot going on at the moment. We have a little train for P7, but at the front the gaps are pretty big.
Yeah. So obviously Hamres was a big loser in those pit stops. Andy, his pace seems to have fallen off a little bit as well on the medium tyres.
Yeah, and of course Andy has that penalty, so maybe Louis can get close and snatch that podium away from him.
Incidentally, Hamres has taken 3 seconds off the gap that was there to F1atic, so he can keep pushing and maybe get some points out of this evening.
Yeah, maybe he's still hoping for a late safety car. It could really speed up the space.
And of course, Julian was P1 in Monaco last week and got himself some wing damage, so the race isn't over by a long shot yet.
Yeah, last weekend we had a crazy race in Monaco with the top 3 battling for the victory in the final laps. At the moment it doesn't seem like that can equal Julian's pace at the moment. But you never know. Julian made a mistake last weekend. Maybe he does one today, but that's very rare for him. Let's see. Santero is now right behind Lunatics, but Lunatics now doesn't have DRS for the first time, so this could be a good shot for Santero to get past.
He's got a lot of VRS stocked up as well, Santero, so he's been harvesting pretty well.
Ooh, Quicknick goes into the pits on 8 old laps mediums. That's an interesting call.
Yeah, there's no wing change either, so
goes on to the softs.
Interesting.
So he really believes that those softs will be a lot quicker in these last 10 laps. Could put them back up into the point positions.
Yeah, but he's got four cars to get past before he can get any points, and only 10 laps remaining. So I'm not really sure about that strategy call. We'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, he rejoins right behind Boseman and Swoon, and they're going side by side now through the middle sector. As Quicknick hangs it around the outside and keeps 14th position. Eden right in front of him at the moment. Yeah. Interesting call to go onto softs.
Yeah. Back on board with Santero. You can't really get close enough to Lunatics here. Lunatics on the harder compound, older tyres, and with no DRS, but getting some nice clean exits out of the corners and providing himself with a nice big gap.
Yeah, yeah, Santero has so much ERS, but it's just waiting for maybe Lunatics to run out of ERS and then make his move. Yeah. Very interesting. Because a lot of drivers are actually now picking up penalties.
Yeah. Oh, it's quick. There's a big battle here still for P14.
Oh, there's a big crash there.
And it's Boastman.
That's the safety car.
Wow, Boastman. Oh my god, Julian's not going to be happy with this, but this might help out the likes of Hamres, Vimblanc. So basically, Squicknick had just got past Eden. Eden had DRS coming back out there, out of turn 3. And Boastman tried to stick one up on the inside. I don't think he had any right really to point his nose there. But he did, and got his car and his nose collected for good measure. He's dropped down into P16 now. Squicknick, I'm not sure if he got picked up wing damage. He'll be so tamping if he does after just pitting.
Yeah.
So here we go then. We did mention the safety car. I'd imagine everyone will come in for fresh softs. Hamres looks like he's staying out on his mediums. Interesting
Very
call.
Interesting. Yeah.
He's got himself back up in a P5.
Yeah, everyone gets a free pit stop now. And Hamres chose to stay out, of course. Maybe a bit worn mediums will be interesting, of course. As everyone around him is on softs.
And the Boogeyman also stays out on his 5-lap old softs.
Interesting. This has really thrown the spanner in the works here this evening.
We saw with young Breezy, who started on the medium tyre. He lost about 10 places in the opening 10 laps, and Hammers will be hoping he can hold those mediums a little bit better than what young Breezy did at the start.
Yeah, it will be really tough to keep the temperature up for those mediums compared to the others around him. He will be struggling and maybe praying to get some points, at least this afternoon. It's a very bold call for him to stay out, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he was in the points anyway, and he's obviously shown the pace this evening, so I'm surprised he's not tried to fit a set of softs. I think he was in P9 or P10 anyway, so let's wait and see.
Yeah, we'll have a little sprint race for at least 7 laps to the end of this race, so that will be interesting to see. Julian, of course, is still on the lead. Now on a fresh set of softs, he will be trying to stay in front of Santa. Of course, Santa couldn't keep up with Julian in those mediums, but maybe it will be different on the softs. So we'll wait and see.
Eden was another one who decided to fit the medium tyre, so again, another interesting strategy from him. There's only 7 laps to go. The softs will get to the end from here, obviously.
I think that he's stuck behind the ghost car of Young Breezy. He can't get past. We'll get a penalty, I think. It's a bit annoying, but can't do anything about it. The cars are going so slow through this middle sector. Yeah, just this car.
So talk us through how you feel when you've come through the field, you're leading, you're out of DRS range, and the safety car comes out, and you've got 6-7 laps to go and you're on the lead. How are you feeling at this point?
Well, it depends, of course. If you created the gap on your own, you're definitely really fired up to get it. Yeah, just to get a gap back. Yeah, and I think Julian just wants now to try to get that 1 second gap, of course. I think he has the pace, but it will be pretty interesting to see.
Yeah, and the safety car, of course, is in this lap, so Santa's trying to position his car as best as possible to attack once the line comes. Of course, it's a short run up then to turn 1, and Julian catches Santa sleeping. Hamres has got past Stinner, but may have to give that position back up until the line. As Andy gets past Santa as well into turn 1. Again, I got a terrible camera angle on that. But Andy gets it done, so Santa caught sleeping, trying to get a move on Julian, and Andy comes up inside and says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that position."
Yeah, Santa caught sleeping there. Julian had a great restart, and Santa just didn't prepare for it, and drops down to P3. Of course, Ice Cold Andy still has that penalty, so that will come into play at the end of the race. Yeah. Let's see. Hammers is still in P5 though at the moment.
Yeah, he caught Stinner sleeping as well on the restart.
And of course, I think he will be a bit slower compared to the guys around him in his opening laps. Yeah, actually maybe to the end of course, but he still needs to get temperature in those medium tires. Maybe we'll get some pace back at the end of this race.
And look at that gap already, the Julian, yeah.
Insane.
Stinner gets past Amres, back up into P5. So the soft's working there. Will Amres have enough to get back at Stinner here? Nope. There's a big battle going on between Sean and Eden. I've seen them chopping and changing a little bit. And Sean looks like he's got that move into P15. So Gwyneth is next up for him.
Yeah, we have a bit of a train behind Mr. Ice Cold and forming. All within 1 second of each other. Which would be very interesting to see until it's end of the race. Yes, Blank is now right behind Amres. Of course still on those older medium tires. So I think they will get DRS now for the first time since the safety car restart. I'm quite sure. And still pure on slipstream this. As Finblank goes down the inside there. Bit of late defending there.
They touch wheels a little bit.
Bit of wheel bang there, and Finblank hangs it around the outside of Amres and moves up into P6.
Very nice move that. But Amres does now get a DRS, but can't do anything with it. As F-Fanatic gets past Lunatics into P10 for the last point scoring position, and Santerra is next up for him, 4 tenths up the road.
Yeah, Amres of course losing big time on those old mediums. It's still in the points position, so maybe it has been a better call so far. Of course Finblank now is right behind Stinna, only 7 tenths between them. He will probably be trying to get past him. Of course Stinna still has that 3-second penalty, so he doesn't need to get past him, but it would still be very nice to at least get past him.
Yeah, and Stinner's actually got a 5-second penalty, so I think that may have been for speeding in the pit lane, so the safety car isn't going to help Stinner out any bit.
You lose big time. Let's see, he was go on board with Bosman now. He just gets past F1 Nelik, DRS. He goes up into the point space positions. And there's a big battle going on now actually for P8. Of course Boogeyman still in those older softs, trying to fend off the guys behind him. It will be a tough battle for him till the end. But I think he can maybe make it work.
Lap 33-36 then. Julian currently 2.5 ahead of Andy, who's 1.3 ahead of Santa. And Dobby's now within DRS range of Santa. He can smell a podium.
Yeah, all they have to do, of course, is to stay within the 3 seconds with the Ice Cold Andy. They will get the podium. So as it stands, actually Santa and Dobby who will jump him.
Vin Blanc goes up in a P5. And Postman gets past the Boogeyman.
As we have yellow flags in the Senna SS, and that's Sir Quinniff, who has, I think, collided with Eden. They've lost so much time now.
Have a look at this train. Showa now joining the back of it. It's currently being headed by Santero. And all this battling from P8 is only helping Hamres and his old mediums out.
Yeah, as we have Stinna actually now behind Finblank, trying to get past. Or Stinna does get DRS. He doesn't use his ERS to get past at this moment. To see the red light blinking for Finblank, so he's running low on ERS at the moment. Stinna will probably wait for his chance at the last couple of laps to get past. Yes, I think Bozeman just got past the Boogeyman. Up to P8. Ooh, as Quick Nick goes down the inside there of F1 Addict and makes it stick. Up to P11. Ooh, and
Lunatics
let it collide. Lunatics goes straight on. Oh,
so unfortunate. I feel like Lunatics was going up on the outside and Fnatic just wasn't aware that he was there.
Well, that cost him maybe some points this afternoon.
Yeah.
Big shame.
I think Fnatic's got a lot of penalties anyway, so I don't think he was finishing with any points, but Lunatics I think for sure may have cost him some.
Yeah. Big shame.
So there's now 5 guys in this battle for 8th, 9th and 10th. As Dobby seems to have lost a bit of momentum and he can't quite now close the gap on Santa, who has massively closed the gap on Andy, so I don't know if Andy's made a mistake or if this guy just picked up his pace. But the pole sitter wants to get as many positions back as he possibly can.
As I see it starts a bit to rain actually.
Oh yeah, it has.
Big shame that it actually starts now.
Yeah, we've had pretty much everything in this race tonight, but I think this rain coming now is a bit too late to cause any drama.
So as it stands, Julian will be taking the win. Mr. Ice Cold Andy will probably drop down to P4. Yeah, P4.
Yeah. And let's get on board with Julian then as he crosses, comes through the last corner and crosses the line and wins in Brazil. Andy comes home in second but loses second and third to Santa and Dobby. Vingblank, massive performance from him tonight, comes home in P5. Hammers holds on for 6th. Stinner comes home in 7th and keeps 7th despite the 5-second penalty. Santero then claims 8th, the Boogeyman 9th and Squicknick in 10th. Showan just outside the points in 11th, recovers from an early spin, unfortunately couldn't get any points for him. Lunatics will be disappointed there with that contact there, Fnatic, costing him maybe some points. Eden in 13th, Boastman lost connection a couple of times I think, got back in, finishes P14, again disappointing for him. Fnatic 15th, Sequinith 16th, Waitsy 17th, Trunders 18th, Young Breezy, who left the session early, 19th, and only one retirement all evening.
I actually saw that Soon missed out on points by 45,000 or 54,000.
Oh god.
Very unlucky for him.
And we're seeing it a lot at the moment, where penalties are really making or breaking people's races. But there is your winner. He took pole but had to take a 5-place grid penalty, so did start P6. But as they say, cream always rises to the top, and he is the cream of Division 1 at the moment. Julian takes the win in Brazil.
Yeah, very dominant display to be honest. Once he got the lead, he didn't let go. Just actually cruised home. Even had a safety car who made it a bit more difficult for him, but he still managed to make it work.
For sure, and look at that performance from Vinblank as well. We saw him miss out. He just come out too late for his to get his flying lap in. Ended up starting P17 and he comes home in P5, going long on those mediums. Really did help him out.
Yeah, as I'm having a little look now. Of course, we had the glitch with the fastest lap, but Julian actually took the fastest lap in the end.
Okay, interesting. So there'll be an extra point then for Julian. Postman most definitely didn't do a 59.3. That's gone really fast this evening. It's been really enjoyable. Luca, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, no worries. It was really a pleasure.
Thanks, man. And of course, we are back on Wednesday for Division 2. But if you are not joining us then have a lovely Christmas, and we'll see you back here next Monday in Division 1. And Division 1 are next week at Singapore.
Ooh, Singapore.
Very nice. Thanks, man. Take care. Bye, all.
Take care. Good evening, everyone.